Well, students, good evening to all of you. So, guys, today is our exam preparation class of your next paper, B.Ed paper, Guidance and Counseling. Right, guys? So, I hope you are giving a paper very well. The main thing is that paper are coming very easy. The main thing is that you have to stitch the answers, right, guys? So we are starting our exam preparation class. So as you know that in our exam preparation class, what we do that we finish the syllabus, we finish the last year paper, almost we cover each and everything, right, guys? So this is a PDF file of around 80 pages or 78 pages. Okay, I have already shared with you. Okay, guys. So I will clear the concept. Okay, rest, guys, you have the time, you can learn it. Already I have sent the notes during the classes at least 4 or 5 months before. Okay, so this is your last year paper. In the last year paper, the questions came: what is the educational guidance? Describe the objectives of educational guidance. So guys, there are only two sections, huh? You are aware of that in the syllabus. In a first sections and B sections, out of a two questions you have to attempt one, huh? And C part is the compulsory part, as you know that. So guys, if you see the syllabus now, it is a educational guidance. Basically, guidance are of the three types. One is educational guidance, one is vocational, and one is personal guidance. Okay, so questions can come, definitely it will come from that part. Okay, either it would come educational guidance and objectives of educational guidance, or what is the vocational guidance, explain the objectives of vocational guidance and personal guidance. Okay, second question has come from the testing techniques, right? There is a aptitude test and others. Okay, so here he has asked this very simple question: define aptitude, list various types of aptitude test. So it is another very easy. You just have to talk about what is a aptitude test. Okay, these are the list of the aptitude test and you have to explain it. Okay, any of one test you can explain in detail. And under the section B, question has come. This is the most important. Okay, everybody, you must note it. Every time I'm looking the paper, I'm seeing the paper from many years. ये जो questions है, this questions always comes. Well, what are the approaches of counseling? This is your section B, the first part. Okay, in your syllabus already, I know the syllabus, you also know the syllabus. Even this is your last year paper, it is covering your almost 95% syllabus. Okay, so guys, under this you have to talk. There are three types of a counseling. One is directive counseling, one is non-directive, and third is eclectic counseling, right? So we will explain these all 78 pages PDF file. And second questions came: write note on the following. So it has split it into the two questions. Number one, steps in counseling interview, objectives of career talks. So this is the general questions, huh? What is career talk? What are the objectives of career talks and advantages of career talks? So I have shared the file with you, which is explaining all the answers of the previous year question paper, right, guys? And under the section C, there are 5 questions. This is also very simple questions. Define guidance, purpose of vocational guidance, types of cumulative record. Cumulative record is also another important questions. Okay, और ये बड़ा भी बनता है इसके ऊपर, right? Long questions भी इसके ऊपर examiner can put, right? What is cumulative record? Explain the various types of cumulative record. Okay, you can see my notes. I have solved in the form of a question and answer, right, guys? Fourth is the objectives of a counseling, and last, meaning of career guidance. Okay, so this is a very simple. So I explain, I discuss. Okay, the whole these 78 pages. The concept should be clear. Rest, guys. Okay, I will go swiftly because there are a lot of long file of a 78 pages, right? Concept I will clear off each question. So first question has come: what is educational guidance? Describe the objectives of educational guidance. Okay. So, this is our exam preparation class. We talk about the different strategies and others, है ना guys? So guys, sometimes क्या होता है? It is, you know the answer. Okay. But, you don't know how to split it. For example, the long answer, that you have to fill the 7 pages. Am I right? Okay. Only then now you can get a full marks, 10 out of a 10. Okay. Up now, the question is asked, what is educational guidance? Describe the objectives of educational guidance. So guys, you have to split these questions into half and half pages. Okay. Write all the points. And in the end, you have to write the conclusions of the, half pages. So I always say that, learning, do the preparation is another thing, but, giving the exam, writing the exam, this is another art. So if you know the art of a writing, how you have to explain, how you have to stretch your answer, you can get a very good marks. Okay. Compared to those persons having, whole preparations, but don't know how to write it. Right. Now, the question is, what is educational guidance? Describe the objectives of educational guidance. So guys, always remember guidance, types of a guidance are of the 3 types. One is educational, then vocational and personal, right? So educational guidance talks about everything related with the education, right? So education is a, big thing. Education involves the syllabus, curriculum, teachers, teaching learning methods. So a lot of things, right? So basically these guidance now we are providing to the students. Okay. Guidance and counseling, it is the paper is in your, B.Ed course. The purpose of a guidance and counseling, because teacher is that Rabindranath Tagore has given a very beautiful definition in regard of the teacher. Teacher should be a friend, philosopher and guide. He has used the word guide. So guys, you have to understand, guidance provide karna bhi teacher ka kaam hai. Okay, right? Sometimes now we don't know about the duties, responsibilities of the teacher. And most of the teacher, they understand that the purpose of a teacher is to finish the syllabus, nothing else. So your duty is not completed by giving the lecture, irrespective of that, whether student grasp it fully or not. This is not a teaching. In fact, guidance तो ये बिल्कुल भी नहीं है, लेकिन ये teaching भी नहीं है. You come in the class, talk about the syllabus, looking from the book, and you think that you have taught it very well. So guys, guidance doesn't mean, for example, first of all, understand the concept of a guidance. What is guidance? If I ask the question from you, guidance means, guys, you have to provide the complete information to the student, and you have to ensure that student has understood that information and student has implemented that information into the action. Then guidance completes. Got it? Guidance doesn't mean that you have given a one information and you are boasting about yourself. I have given a very important information to the student. So guys, guidance does not come here. Guidance does not complete here. Guidance means whatever the informations you have given to the student, then you have to observe the student, whether the student has grasped it or not, and student has implemented that information or not. This is called the guidance, right? So educational guidance talks about the everything related with the education, right? As important points I have highlighted and I have colored as a red color so that you can come to know the concept of the particular topic, right? So educational guidance is related to every aspect of education in school or colleges. Curriculum, method of instruction, curricular activity, disciplines. Educational guidance is a process of assisting the individual student to reach optimum educational development. Dekho, very good line. The purpose of educational guidance is to, assisting the student in such a way so that student could reach optimum educational development. ये होनी चाहिए उसकी, okay? And this is the work of the teacher, as Tagore has said, है ना? Just I have given you the example. You know, teacher is a friend, philosopher, and guide, right? So from that way, you have to teach to the student. Then you will become the effective teacher. Then, guys, you will get a full salary, right? Don't think that any school or college is giving the less salary. Okay, basically, you are not perfect, right? You don't know how to teach. You don't know how to motivate. Okay, you don't know the methods, teaching, learning process, philosophy, psychology. Okay, and you say that uh, college, school is giving the less salary, Anna, when you go for the appointment. Okay, no school, guys, in the world will give you the less salary if you are a expert. Okay, because every person wants that your level. Okay, he gives the salary according to your level. So if you want to increase your level, so guys, this is the best options. You are doing the B.Ed. Okay, grasp all the teaching learning methodology fully, right? So it is a sort of a guidance that is only rendered to the student community. Okay, I have talked now. The educational, vocational, and personal. It is related to the student. Means we are providing to the student. Okay, and in short, ये देखिए, I have written in the answers. Okay, which I have shared the file with you. Educational guidance in short. Answer the following questions. What is student best suited for? What type of educations will reveal his inborn capacities and help him to develop them? And what is the purpose of his learning and study? Right? So this thing you have to provide. Got it? Guys, ye dekhiye, every baby born with the, lot of powers, capacities, lot of, intelligence. But this is the purpose of a teacher and the parents. Okay, you have to draw out those powers, capacities from the mind of the student, right? Otherwise they will come, all those powers in the baby that will come in the sleeping mode, and when he dies or she dies, वो sleeping mode में खत्म हो जाएंगे, right? So this is the duty of the teacher. Every teacher must know the purpose of teaching, the meaning of a teaching, the meaning of a guidance is to awakening the inborn capacities, inborn powers from the mind of the student, right? What the student want. No individuals are alike. Even twins are different. Twins are different. One parents give the birth of a twins. Twins are different from attitude, aptitude, knowledge, right? Liking, disliking, right? So you are taking the class of the 30 students. Basically, you are interacting with the 30 minds or the 40 minds, whosoever the student in the class. So you have to provide according to the mental level, attitude, aptitude level of the student, what type of a coaching, what what is the best suited for the student. So guys, trust me, this is a such kind of a topic. Okay, I can speak up to the 4 hours, 6 hours on this topic. This is a very interesting topic, and from that topic we learn lot, right? So Brewer हुए हैं, ये definitions देते हैं according to the educational guidance. So according to him, educational guidance is a conscious effort to assist in the intellectual growth of an individual. अब आप ये देखो, इस definition से है ना, already thing has cleared. Many times I have told in my lecture, student is never ever weak. Only the weak is teacher. I'm not talking about personally. Okay, what would be the weak in the teacher? Weak उसका या तो teaching method weak होगा, हाँ, behavior अच्छा नहीं होगा. So guys, these weakness na, that comes results into the academic achievement of the student. Do you know that if the student has got a less marks na, right, research says that the cause behind that is teacher, not the student. IQ level is good, everything is good, but teacher doesn't know how to motivate, how to awakening the learning power of the student. So guys, this is the reason in our B.Ed course, we have studied educational philosophy. We have studied various kinds of educational philosophies. We have studied the idealism school of thought, naturalism school of thought, pragmatism school of thought, existentialism, realism, and under the psychology, we have studied many topics like growth and development, intelligence, learning, personality, creativity, motivation, right? So this is a psychology, and under the teaching learning process, so now guidance and counseling, we are covering the topics. If teaching also needs the guidance and counseling, we have to provide guidance and counseling to the students. Guys, guidance or counseling say to you will not believe, the student get motivated. Okay, but if you are a not good teacher na, for example, you are not effective teacher, but you are providing the guidance and counseling to the student very well, right? Student does progress. Yes, student does progress. These guidance and counseling na, these are the very powerful tool basically, right? Means what is a guidance and counseling? Means whatever the problem student has, you have to talk with the student, you have to provide that particular things to the student. But problem is that our teachers in India, they are teaching to the 40 students, they don't know about the 40 students, they don't have the cumulative record. Do you know what is a cumulative record? Good schools, they maintain the cumulative record of the student. Cumulative record is a kind of a record in which you store, you write the history of the student at a very first day he enters into the school, and when he leaves the school, each and everything is recorded under the cumulative record. So guys, if you are teaching to the 40 students, many times in my lectures I have told to you, you are interacting with the 40 minds, you should know about the 40 minds. Means you should have thoroughly knowledge of those 40 minds. All right, according to the mind level of the student, according to the mental level of the student, you have to provide coaching to the student. So these all the subjects, even guidance and counseling, we are studying in the B.Ed. The purpose of a guidance and counseling is that unless or until we have the knowledge of this, only then we can provide to the students, right? And root strength, any definitions agar koi bhi aap likhte hain, so it is a good. According to the root strength, educational guidance as something related to the aid the individual choosing an appropriate program and in making progress in it. So guys, teacher plays a very important role. Okay, only the perfect teacher plays a very important role. I'm not saying the, I will not say teacher plays a perfect teacher having the knowledge of a teaching methodology, that kind of a teacher plays an important role in the life of the student. Okay, otherwise teachers to kahi hai, but they don't know about these all things. So educational guidance you have come to know, I think, right? So guys, now what are the objectives of educational guidance? I think whatever I have talked from last 10 to 15 minutes, these all comes under the objective of educational guidance. Okay, even no need to see the answer. Okay, this is a recording lectures, you can listen once again, and whatever I have talked you can write it, absolutely you would be correct, right? आप देख सकते हैं, ये देखें, to enable the child to know in detail about the subject, to monitor the academic progress of the student, to acquaint the student with the prescribed curriculum, to assist the student in getting information about further information, to diagnose the learning difficulty of the student. Sara, everything I have discussed. Okay guys, so we move to the second question. What is, अच्छा second questions मेरा है need of need of educational guidance. The first question was objective, second need. Okay, so in here in this questions, everything would be same, but only you have to make the heading of a need of educational guidance, and you have to talk about 7-8 points. And under last 15 minutes I have discussed this, these points also includes the need of educational guidance, right? ये देखिए individual difference, I have just talked na individual difference. Okay, because every student is a different. You cannot prepare a the same lecture for whole the class. Guys, you have to go the beyond the line. You have to do the extra effort, because students in your class is average students, below average, and the above average. Okay, how you can prepare the such kind of a lecture which is the same to all the students? So here you have to talk about under this topic individual difference. No students are alike. So that's why there is a need of educational guidance, need of checking the wastage and stagnations in the education. हाँ, मतलब हो क्या रहा है, sometime the topic वो पढ़ा रहे हैं वो okay, they are not preparing well. So these all points talks about the why educational guidance is needed among the students. Okay, so third questions, define the aptitude test, list various types of the aptitude test and discuss one of them in detail. So yahan par sabse pehle na I want to tell you, basically these things now are not happening in the India. Okay, means I have seen very less guidance and counseling bureau where parents go with the children, okay, to check the aptitude level of their student. Even teachers, they don't go, they don't have the knowledge of various kinds of a test. By them you can check the academic performance of the students, IQ level of the students, aptitude level of the student. If I ask from you abhi right now, I'm taking class online, if I ask from you, tell me the name of any 5 or 7 test. So I think you cannot talk about a 5 or 7 test, right? These are very much necessary. You should have the knowledge of these tests. Even you should apply to the students to know the level of the student, right? Intelligence test, emotional, I talk about intelligence test, emotional test, creativity test, aptitude test, attitude test, right? So there are lot of tests, okay, related with the educational. But here under this questions we only have to talk about the aptitude test. Okay, then we have to talk various types of aptitude test, and then we have to detail anyone in detail. So guys, aptitude test hota kya cheez hai? Aptitude test basically it assesses our students thinking and reasoning skills, right, while testing the clarity of the concept for a specific topic, right? Students thinking and reasoning skills. Have you seen teacher to in fact मौका भी नहीं देता बच्चों को for the development of reasoning or thinking. He comes in the class and start naming of the topic and start teaching. So guys, at least you have to there should be a brainstorming among the students, right? So aptitude test basically assesses the students thinking level and reasoning skills, okay, while testing the clarity of the concept for a specific topic. It allows learner to distinguish between the areas that need improvement and ones they are good at, right? So aptitude test, guys, basically this is used to uh, assess the students thinking level and reasoning skills. Okay, so now we have to talk about various types of the aptitude test. Okay, you can see the various types of a aptitude test, right? You can see ye dekho. Furthermore, okay, we talk about in general, aptitude test measure one's competence in logical reasoning, numerical skills or verbal ability. Okay, and various types of aptitude test. ये देखिए guys, I have defined educational and career aptitude test. Okay, इसका क्या purpose है? Organizational assessment test, abstract reasoning test, numerical reasoning test. Okay, means this test is used to for checking the numerical ability of the student. Verbal reasoning, it is used to check the ability of the student to write the text and vocalize clearly, right? So these all the tests, one should have, teacher should have knowledge of these all the tests. Okay, so even you can explain all, and any one you can explain in detail. Okay, it is an easy one, right? Next, what are the different approaches of a counseling? Discuss one of them in detail. In the starting, I have already talked now. There are three types of the counseling, right? One is directive, non-directive, and eclectic. Okay. So counseling care, basically it is a service offered to an individual who is undergoing a problem and needs professional help to overcome it. Right? Counseling plays a very important role, guys. Okay. So because now, abhi jo problem hai student, okay, you have given the lecture, okay, to whom student will talk about his or him problem. And basically adolescent age to age, this is the age of a very stress and storm, right? So Mayer ye talk about counseling implies a relationship between two individuals in which one gives a certain kind of assistance to another. One is a in the process of a counseling, two persons are involved. One is a counselor, one is a counselee. Counselor is a person who has a more mature personality, having a more knowledge, and counseling is a student, right? So now we have to talk about types of counseling. ये थोड़ा नीड ऑफ काउंसलिंग लिखा हुआ है, ओके, आप इसको पढ़ सकते हैं. ऑलरेडी आई हैव डिस्कस्ड अंडर द आंसर ऑफ एजुकेशनल गाइडेंस इन डिटेल. Approaches, basically examiner ask the questions approaches, so you have to talk about three type of approaches. One is directive counseling, second is non-directive, and third is eclectic. ठीक है guys? So अब ये क्या होती है डायरेक्टिव काउंसलिंग? जो होती है डायरेक्टिव काउंसलिंग वो है, इट इज ए, you can say that, counselor centered counseling. Okay, here the counselor who prepares entire plan and sees through the process. Directive counseling jo hai, it is a counselor centered counseling. So iske, these are the assumptions. Every, you have to talk about the assumptions and then advantages. Okay, because under the approaches of a counseling, you have to talk about three types of a counseling. One is directive, non-directive, and eclectic. Okay, all right. And all the three counseling you have to define. Then you have to talk about assumptions, then advantages and disadvantages. Then your answer is completed. Okay. So now what are the assumptions of these counseling? Assumptions hai, all of our effort should be focused on the problem of a counseling. Counselor is more competent than counselee and hence plays a more active role. Counseling is primarily an intellectual rather than emotional process. ये देखो ना, इमोशनल प्रोसेस पे टॉक नहीं होती, मींस इट इज नॉट ए स्टूडेंट सेंटर्ड. इंटेलेक्चुअल लेवल के ऊपर टॉक होती है अभी, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ ए प्रॉब्लम ही इज फेसिंग ऑन द इंटेलेक्चुअल लेवल. तो इसके स्टेप्स क्या हैं? हाँ, स्टेप इज इंपॉर्टेंट, आई फॉरगेटन. तो यू हैव टू राइट द स्टेप आल्सो आफ्टर द अजम्पशन, स्टेप्स, देन एडवांटेजेस, डिसएडवांटेजेस. ठीक है. तो फर्स्ट एनालिसिस द प्रॉब्लम, देन सिंथेसिस, फिर देन डायग्नोज द प्रॉब्लम. ओके, प्रोग्नोज, इसमें क्या होता है? प्रेडिक्ट होता है फ्यूचर डेवलपमेंट. Then counselor provides a treatment. ठीक हो गया? Means under the approaches of a counseling, you have to talk three type of a counseling. One is directive, non-directive, eclectic. Okay. Every three type of a counseling, you have to talk about assumption, then steps, then advantages, disadvantages. ठीक है? तो almost same ही है सारी चीजें. Something is different. When you talk about non-directive, it is a counselee centered. Right? When you talk about directive, it is a counselor centered. And when you talk about eclectic, तो वो क्या है? Relationship of a both, right? Directive and non-directive, right guys? So again, फिर advantages and disadvantages, it is a easy one. I have cleared, you can read it. Okay. Eclectic ये देख लो, eclectic जो होती है, right? It is a synthesis, combinations of a directive and non-directive, दोनों को मिला के, right? Means counseling centered भी है और counselor centered भी है, right? Okay, next we talk about the fifth and important questions. What is a cumulative record? Okay, its type, design, content, and features. Okay, cumulative record I have already discussed. Okay, then we also discuss here in detail. Cumulative record is a such kind of a record which contains the history of the child from the day one he enters the school till he leaves the school. Okay, it is an account of a child history in the school, giving the Indian touch. The cumulative card can be easily compared to the Janapatri of the child. Okay, from this we know about the past, and from the you know dependence predictions can be made about the future also. There will only a one cumulative record, one child, though many other types of a record and progress report can be maintained about him. So guys, क्या होता है, cumulative record is a such kind of a record when the student enters into the school at a very first day. Okay, good schools, renowned schools, they prepare the cumulative record up to he leaves the school. Because if suppose student has promoted in the class of a 7th or 8th, and in the class of a 8th, okay, some of the students, they are not preparing well. Okay, then from the cumulative record we came to know that up to the class 6 they have got a very good marks, but why they are not progressing in the 7th class or the 8th class? Then we will come to know that the problem is not within the student, the problem is in the teaching method of the teacher, right? So it helps a lot of to know about the student. Okay, so I think you have come to know that cumulative record is the detailed record, child history in the school. Okay, even Ellen has said that the cumulative record is a record of information concerned with the appraisal of the individual people kept on a record and in a one place. And Johns has said that a cumulative record is a permanent record of a student which is kept up to the date by the school. It is the educational history with information about his school achievement, attendance, health test scores and similar pertinent data. Okay, अब आप इसमें ये समझ लो, ये देखिए ये टाइप्स ऑफ ए कम्युलेटिव रिकॉर्ड है, राइट? सिंगल कार्ड, फोल्डर और कम्युलेटिव. ओके, कंटेंट्स क्या होते हैं इसमें, राइट? कंटेंट्स होते हैं public introductions of identifying data, social economic background of the student, student health data, presence, psychological data, educational data, vocational data, personality traits. These all things are recorded in the cumulative record. इसके ये फीचर्स हैं, देख लो, इजी हैं. ओके, इसको पढ़ लेना, राइट? एंड एडवांटेजेस, ओके, टू नो अबाउट द स्टूडेंट, है ना? ऑलरेडी इट इज क्लियर, वेरी इजी क्वेश्चंस है ये तो. हाँ, माइग्रेशन केसेस, है ना? जब हमने उसको माइग्रेट करना है तो देन वी सी दैट ओके कौन सा स्कूल बेस्ट रहेगा. Selections and promotions, okay, we come to know that okay in which field he will go. Location and diagnosis, link between teachers and parents, preparing certificates, improving method of teaching, providing educational and vocational guidance, useful for a new teacher. Ab new teacher has appointed in the 7th class, so mostly students are not aware of the teacher style and method and thing. Okay, and teacher is not aware of the student because he or she is a new appointment. So when he or she is see the cumulative record, then he will come to know about the student very well. So basically guys, teaching means क्या होता है कि we have to make a very good relations between teacher and the student. And trust me, when you make a very good relations between the teacher and the student, okay, so teaching learning process becomes very smooth. Okay, students will automatically, they will get a very good marks, right? So we have to maintain a one bridge, right, where the teacher has to give respect to the student, and same student has to give respect to the teacher. So these are all the, you can say that all the advantages of cumulative record, right guys? Okay, next है, write a note on the organizations of a guidance services in school and explain the role of a teacher in guidance program. So basically we have to talk about how the school organize a guidance service in the school and what is the role of a teacher in guidance program. Okay, guidance services organized by the school क्या है? Organizations of a guidance services in school requires planning, supervision, coordination, the part of head of the institution. It requires active cooperations of the parents, staff, guidance experts, the pupils, and the management of the school, right? When we have to start any kind of a guidance services, we need the cooperations of the every stakeholder, right? तो ये सारा का सारा ना उसमें डिटेल किया हुआ है. It is a easy, right? And what would be the role of a head, teacher, and counselor, right? Almost same ही होते हैं guys. आप उसमें देख लेना with the difference of 1 or 2 point, right? ओके ये देखिए रोल ऑफ ए टीचर इन ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस एंड गाइडेंस प्रोग्राम, ओके इफेक्टिव टीचिंग प्रोवाइड करना, डेमोन्स्ट्रेट जेन्युइन इंटरेस्ट विद इन द स्टूडेंट, इनकरेज करना स्टूडेंट को, सर्विस ऑन प्लानिंग कमिटी, ओके सो गाइस व्हेन द कंसेप्ट इज क्लियर टू यू ना तो यू कैन स्ट्रेच द आंसर्स इन फाइन, ओके एंड हियर तो मैंने यहाँ पे टीचर का भी रोल दिया हुआ है, ये देखिए ओके रोल ऑफ ए काउंसलर भी दिया हुआ है, यानी ऑल द थ्री, रोल ऑफ ए हेड मतलब प्रिंसिपल, रोल ऑफ ए टीचर, रोल ऑफ ए काउंसलर इन ऑर्गेनाइजिंग द गाइडेंस सर्विसेज इन ए स्कूल। तो ये सारा का सारा इट इज इजी वन, ओके ये कुछ एडिशनल नोट्स थे तो ये ऑलरेडी वी हैव डिस्कस्ड, ओके और इसके अलावा लास्ट में कुछ पेंडिंग नोट्स थे वो कवरिंग द 2-3 क्वेश्चंस बिकॉज ये इक्लेक्टिक नॉन डायरेक्टिव एंड वी हैव कवर्ड ना दिस पार्ट, ओके हाँ यहां से करते हैं हम। अब फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन तो हमने कर लिया एजुकेशनल गाइडेंस, ओके पर गाइडेंस आर ऑफ अनदर टू मोर टाइप्स वी आर लेफ्ट ना, one is vocational and one is personal, so then I have made a notes of a personal and vocational because if the question comes तो it can come from the vocational, personal और educational है ना, कहीं से भी आ सकता है। तो I have made a notes of a vocational guidance and objective of a vocational guidance as well as I have made a notes of a personal guidance and objectives of the personal guidance, okay although we have covered है ना, we have discussed, तो rest आप पढ़ सकते हैं, okay vocational guidance क्या चीज है? Vocational guidance actually it is related with your vocation, with the vocation of the student basically, okay with the occupation, in which occupation he wants to go, okay so you have to talk about vocational. Under the vocational guidance you teacher has to provide assistance given to the individual in solving problem related to the vocational planning and to the occupational choices and profess with due regard for the individual's characteristics and their relations to occupational opportunities. So under the vocational guidance, you have to talk about students, occupation, in which occupation he has the interest. You have to talk about these all things, right? Under the vocational guidance. एक definitions है, according to the D criteria, vocational guidance is a facilitative process, a service rendered to the individual to aid him in choosing and adjusting to an occupation. Guys, basically now, in the adolescent age, now students are so much confused to take the decision hana sometimes, so it is the duty of the teacher, right? You have to help the students by choosing a correct path, correct career, okay correct occupation. So this is the vocational guidance. अब personal में क्या होता है? Personal में student have some emotional problems, some trauma, some fear in the mind, हाँ तो वो क्या करता है? It blocks the learning power of the student. So sometimes student is intelligent, but due to the personal problem, he has the problem. So then, you have to, under the personal guidance, you have to provide the guidance and you have to remove that block, that psychologically block within the student, right? So that comes under the personal guidance, right? So दोनों questions मैंने यहाँ पे explain कर दिए हैं, ठीक है guys? And we have discussed. ये देखिए second questions आ गया. What is a personal guidance? Describe the objective of a personal guidance, right? ये personal guidance आ गई related with us. ये Ruth Strang की definitions देख लो. Ruth Strang talks about the personal guidance is the assistance given to the individual to solve his personal problem. अब personal आ गई, right? Such as emotional and social adjustment, economic and social relationship, and problems connecting with his physical as well as mental health. You got the point, na? Sometimes students is not getting well, so it doesn't mean he is a weak. So basically guys, some psychological problems, personal problems, okay they are hindering they are becoming the obstacle in the way of the student, so you have to remove these also. That's why now I have told you now teacher should have the knowledge of a guidance and counseling, okay the teacher duty is not finished. देखो whatever I have talked about in the starting, same I am talking in the end, है ना? Because end is going, है ना? We are reaching on almost end of the notes. The same thing is coming, right? So basically we have to find, guys, in a one line now I talk. What is the meaning of a teaching? Teaching means to know the subject. Subject does not mean Hindi, English, Punjabi, science, mathematics, English. I'm talking about subject is the student. Teaching means to know about the student. If you are an effective teacher, good teacher, na, so guys, you should know about the whole personality of the student. Only then you can become a good teacher. By learning, by mastering in a particular subject, you cannot become an effective teacher. You cannot become a good teacher. By learning the student's personality from every point of view, right? Even educational, vocational, and personal, है ना, सारे ही cover हो गया psychology भी उसमें. Only then you can become a good teacher, effective teacher. Got it? So teaching doesn't mean pouring into the mind of the student. Teaching means trying out of the mind of the student. निकालना होती है teaching. Teaching डालना नहीं होती. ठीक है ना? You have to provoke the learning power of the student, right? उसकी इनबॉर्न कैपेसिटीज के ऊपर वर्क करना है, राइट? तो दिस इज कॉल्ड द टीचिंग. दिस इज द पर्पस ऑफ ए गाइडेंस एंड काउंसलिंग, यू प्रोवाइड. तो पर्सनल गाइडेंस भी इट हैज क्लियर टू यू, राइट गाइस? सो इसके ऑब्जेक्टिव वट एवर वी हैव डिस्कस, वो सारे के सारे इसके ऑब्जेक्टिव्स होंगे. ओके, नाउ वी टॉक अबाउट द शॉर्ट नोट्स. ओके, नाउ फर्स्ट इज मीनिंग ऑफ ए गाइडेंस. तो गाइडेंस मीन्स टू डायरेक्ट, टू पॉइंट, टू शो द पाथ. ये देखो, टू शो द पाथ. Guidance is a concept as well as process. As a concept, guidance is concerned with the optimum development of the individual. As a process, guidance helps the individual in self understanding. ये देखो, this is the most important. Guidance एक process भी है और process भी है. Guidance एक concept भी है और process भी है. As a concept, it means, maximum you have to provide the such kind of a guidance knowledge to the student so that he could get a optimum development of the individual as a concept. But as a process, guys, guidance helps individual in self understanding. Okay, so that means student becomes able to solve his problem himself. In the starting lecture I have told you, na, guidance is not completed unless you provide the information to the student. Then you have to check whether the student is implementing that information and he has successfully implemented. This is called the guidance, right? Okay, ये नेचर है, नेचर भी आप उसमें लिख देना, ठीक है, शॉर्ट में. नेक्स्ट है वोकेशनल गाइडेंस. तो वोकेशनल गाइडेंस वी आर डन, है ना, अंडर दिस. थर्ड क्वेश्चन इज कम्युलेटिव रिकॉर्ड. तो कम्युलेटिव रिकॉर्ड भी वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड, हाँ, राइट. फोर्थ इज ए ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ काउंसलिंग. तो काउंसलिंग भी वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड, है ना, क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैं? प्रोवाइड कंप्लीट गाइडेंस. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है करियर गाइडेंस या करियर टॉक. तो करियर गाइडेंस बेसिकली सिंपलिंग अबाउट नोइंग द राइट करियर ऑप्शन फॉर oneself. Career guidance experts employ various career guidance assessment to help professional students make well-informed decision concerning occupational or higher educational choices. Career guidance helps plan occupational goals and take actionable steps. Like, you are providing the educational guidance, personal, vocational. So career guidance talks about the career of the student. So under this answer, you have to talk about, you should, talk about the career of the student, because different students having the different mind, different abilities, different aptitude. Okay, so you should, being teacher, you should have the knowledge of a different career guidance program. Okay, different occupations. So this thing you have to provide to the student. So under this short note you have to talk. और ये देखो, advantages of a career guidance क्या होता है? Advice from skilled people. For example, you are not aware of that, being teacher. So guys, what you can do, that you can call the guest faculty. आपका कोई भी friend है having a particular knowledge in the career options, okay, so you can call in the school. You can arrange a one lecture in your class, right? उससे बच्चों का level देखो कितना बढ़ गया. Are you getting my point ना? Okay. So ये advantages हैं career guidance के. Diverse opportunities, ways to grow your career, okay, learning experience. Basically ये चीजें ना बहुत कम होती हैं इंडिया के अंदर. Okay, इंडिया के अंदर बस ना, they are all the teachers and schools, they are working on बच्चों को बस करवा दो, 10वीं करवा दो, +2 करवा दो. But basically we don't have to make robot to the student. Okay, we have to provide the educational, personal, and vocational guidance to the student, right? We have to develop the personality of the student fully and freely. and we have to make the student so that he can solve the life problems. The problems comes in the life by himself. This is the basically purpose of the teaching and guidance provided by the teacher, right? And आप ये देखिए कितनी देर पहले, कितने सालों पहले रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर हैज सेड, teaching teacher is a friend, philosopher and guide, right? So guys, you should have the knowledge of all the three fields. Only then you can expect good result, okay, from the student. And what are the career talks? Say questions आया हुआ last year में. What is career talk? Objective of career talk. So career talk basically allows the student to hear from the real life role models who can demonstrate the relevance and connection of what is taught in the classroom, because they are creating the jobs right now. They also allow students to gain an understanding of what different careers actually entail while bringing the curriculum of life. As I have told you now, this information you have to provide to the students, and if you don't have, okay, you can arrange the expert, right? Malab, you can arrange all the students in the hall, and you can invite the any guest faculty having the knowledge of a career talks, career guidance. Okay, so students comes to know a lot of things. They will come to know the diverse opportunities, right? So this is this is the general question has come. So you have to talk. ये देखिए, the goal of a career talk is to equip students with the inspirations and informations to make better informed decisions about their future career path. Sometime तो बच्चा 10th class में हो जाता है, after 10th he doesn't know whether he has to go into the art stream, science stream or math stream or commerce stream, है ना? Because of our failure, guys, because the failure of the school. Student is not taking the right decision because the failure of the teacher. Means up to the 10th you didn't prepare to the student so that he can take the decision by himself. Are you getting? So this is very much important, right guys? That's why these all subjects are in the B.Ed course. So ये सारे के सारे objectives हैं career talks के. So guys, we have almost, okay, we see our last year paper. Okay, we go on to the first page. Okay, and all the we have covered all the questions and additionals also. ये देखिए educational guidance we have covered. Okay, this is the last year paper na. Aptitude test and various aptitude tests we have covered. Steps in the counseling interview, है ना, you can learn from the additional notes. Objective of career talks we are covered. ये guidance, ये सारा चीजें हमने cover करनी है, right? Instead of that, we have covered left part of the syllabus also, right guys? So thank you so much for this lectures, guys. Okay, wishing you all the best for your next paper, right? And write the papers, and guys, you know that you have to fill the sheets. Okay, writing is attempting the paper is also another skill. So thank you so much, guys. Thanks.